I lost some good friends along life's way. Some loved ones departed in heaven to stay, but thank God I didn't lose everything. Lost some good friends along life's way. Some loved ones departed in heaven to stay, but thank God I didn't lose everything. I lost faith in people who say they cared. In the midst of my crisis, they were never there. But in my disappointment, in my seasons of pain, one thing never wavered, one thing never changed. I never lost my hope. I never lost my joy. I never lost my faith, but most of all, I never lost my praise. I let some blessings slip away when I lost my focus and went astray, but thank God I didn't lose everything. I lost some possessions that were so dear when I lost some battles while walking in fear. But in my struggles, in my season of pain, one thing never wavered, one thing never changed. I never lost my hope. I never lost my joy. I never lost my faith, but most of all, I never lost my praise. Whew. I never lost my hope. Yeah, I never lost it. I never lost my joy. I never lost my faith, but most of all, I never lost my praise. I never lost my worship. I never let the things weigh me down, so down I couldn't worship. I never lost my joy, but most of all, I never lost my praise. Yeah, I never lost my praise, even in tribulations. This is day 40 of the 100 Nights of Worship, and thanks for tuning in. Please keep continue, because we are looking at worshiping in tribulations. Worshiping in tribulations. I know that is something that doesn't seem to tally, because it's not stuff that you do when you are in tribulations. You should be worrying in tribulations. You should be bothered in tribulations and all of that. But worship is not one of those things that should be in tribulations. But now we are looking at worshiping in tribulations. Keep tuned as we go through it, considering Job as our case study. Well, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. So whatever is in store for me, it's gonna be nice. Seems crazy right now, Lord, but that's when you shine. I can still shouting. It's gonna be nice. Well, you never promised me that my days will be problem-free, but you did promise to always take care of me. Right now it seems that my troubles will never end, but I know you promised to be my closest friend. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Whatever is in store for me, it's gonna be nice. So praise her right now, Lord. That's when you shine. I can still shout it. It's gonna be nice, well, well. And when I remind myself daily who lives inside of me, and when I stay close to you, close to me, you gotta be. No more crying about my situation. I know what I gotta do. I gotta pray, gotta trust, gotta believe. Depend on you. Hey, it's gonna be nice. Hey, it's gonna be nice. I don't have the right to give it. You've always brought me through, so I'm gonna put my trust in you. I don't have the right to give up. I don't have the right to give in. You always bring me through, so I'm gonna put my trust in you. It is day 40 of 100 Nights of Worship, and if you have been with us up to this point, God bless you a lot. If you are just joining us, God bless you, but it is 100 Nights of Worship. You have to keep tab. God bless you as you keep tab, as you continue with us. God will carry us through. He who started with us will see us through, and that is something that I think we should be reminded as we treat the topic for today, worshiping in tribulations. He who started with you, who brought you into this world, he is able to carry you through every trial and every temptation, through every difficulty that you face. So you should not use your troubles as an excuse or a reason to leave God, to stop worshiping God. Because one thing that many people may not tell us is that God did not say that we will live a life free of tribulations. No. As a matter of fact, if there was a promise in that direction, it was like, as long as you live on this earth, you will face trials and tribulations, especially as a child of God. You will face trials and tribulations, but one thing Jesus promised is that he will be with us all through. Like, you never promised me that my days will be problem free, but you did promise to always take care of me. Right now it seems like my troubles will never end, but I know you just promised to be my closest friend. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Whatever is in store for me, it's gonna be nice. Seems crazy right now, Lord, but that's where you shine. I can still shout it. It's gonna be nice, well. So it's gonna be nice. You have to just bear that in mind. He did not promise us a stress-free life. He promised us to be with us through the stress, through the valleys, because there will be valleys, up the mountains, because you'll have to climb mountains, and then he'll be with us through the trials, because there will be trials. They said when you go through the fire, you will not be burned. When you go through the water, you will not be drowned, because he is going to be with you there. Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into the fire. They were not drowned. Remember Paul. He went through a lot. He went through a shipwreck. He had a snake on his body and all of that, but then he pulled through because God was with him. So long as God is with us, and Moses said that if your presence will not go with us, then we will not go hence. That is it. So long as the presence of God is with you, then you can go through any tribulation, any circumstance. You just remember that God is in charge, and because of that, you continue to worship. Now, the quote for today says that worshiping in tribulation is based on knowledge. Okay, a knowledge of God. And that knowledge, yesterday we studied knowledge and worship. I think that was yesterday, I guess. So now that knowledge births a kind of worship life that is independent of any situation that you are going through. And that is just the fact. And we are considering Job, and we're looking at Job chapter 1 from verse 20 to 22. You can read it, but I think we know the story of Job, and here's our case study today. Imagine you having all things going well for you, having to you had all things going on for you. You had sons, you had daughters, you had, you were the richest man, and all things were just working fine. Your wife was alive, your kids were alive, and everything. And all of a sudden, in one day, Yo, not even in a month, not even in a year that you say, okay, you have to recover from this bad news and then you get that one. No, in one day, everything started to turn upside down. Everything just started to go haywire. This one came with the news. I was in the fields and then blah, blah, blah. The Serbians fell upon us and killed everything, all the cattle, everything. They took everything away and blah, blah, blah. So now you are equal to poor. This one came, this, I was over here and this was what happened. So now you are equal to frustrated. Like, and then another one came, your children. Oh my God, that could be painful. Like, that's the worst of it all. All your children were in their senior brother's house. They were having a feast and all of that. And then the house just collapsed upon them. For what reason? And that was how this guy became childrenless. He had no kids anymore in one day, no business anymore in one day. His servants were dead. Everybody was just, everything went upside down in one day. And to crown it all, his health failed. Started having balls and everything. He became sick. I think, though it is not right though, but then I think the way the whole thing happened within a day, his friends, as in they couldn't see, it just did not look okay. It just, definitely they didn't know what went on. So, but then to them, this guy must have offended God, like to the bottom of God's heart, for these things to happen to him. His sin may have been so much. So kind of, you may not totally blame them, but it's not right. We don't go judging people because they're going through any situation. So, but then, you know, it was so somehow, you know, everything in one day. And then, to crown it all, the wife that remained alive came and said, curse God and die. As in, that is what looked reasonable to the human eyes at that point in time, in such a situation. Why would God let this happen to me? You know, that's the kind of question we ask many times we go through tribulations. Why would God let this happen to me? I wonder why we're so quick to blame God for the problems, but so, like, God is the last person we think, God is the last one we think about when we get breakthroughs and, you know, blessings. You know, the world wants you to believe that, yes, your achievement is because of your effort, but then the problem is because of God. You know, I don't know why we are so fast, but usually that's the human tendency to quickly blame God for things. And that was what Job's wife saw. It's like, what kind of life is this? You lost everything in one day and now you're so sick, you can't even, like, all is not well with you. Why not? Isn't it better to be dead? If you can't kill yourself, just curse God and God is going to kill you. I don't know. Like the kind of mentality she had. But imagine Job in all that situation. He was like, I know my Redeemer liveth. And he stayed in that kind of situation, the kind of situation that does not make sense to worship in. Job worshipped. He worshipped God. How many of us can do that? Think of the man who wrote the song, It Is Well. What's his name? Definitely not Philip Bliss. I don't remember his name, but you can check it out. But that man went through a lot. He lost his daughters, I guess. I think he lost his children. I'm not sure he lost his wife. And, you know, things went upside down for him. It was just like a Job situation, you know. I think I don't remember the story properly, but you can read on it. I think fire got at his business or something like that, and then stuff happened to him. And it was at that point that this guy birthed this, that he came up with a song. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrow like seas billows roll, whatever my Lord thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul, it is well with my soul, it is well with my soul. Though Satan should buffet If trials should come, let this blessed assurance control that Christ hath regarded my helpless estate and has shed his own blood for my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. It is well. We can say that at such a point in time when you just lost your children. It does not sound well at all. The Shunammite woman, she just lost this. She had been looking for a child, and then the prophet came over and prayed for her. She got a baby, the only child, and then after training the child up to a point, the child died. The husband was like, wow. The woman just took, was it a horse or whatever, and headed down to the other town to meet the prophet. And then she was like, people were like, hello ma'am, how far? She said, it is well. It is well. You just lost your only child. She met the prophet himself. And it was like, is everything well with you? How is the child and everything? She said, it is well. That attitude is birthed out of knowledge. A different kind of knowledge. A knowledge that makes your worship independent of any situation you are in. It takes grace. And God said, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. In your tribulation, my joy is made perfect. He promised to give us the peace that passes all understanding. That kind of peace that you have when everything is going haywire, when everything is turning downwards, that kind of peace. And people are like, is this guy okay? All these things is happening to you, and you're like, you're calm. By now I thought you should have lost your mind. But then, no. At this point, we worship. It is easier said than done, though. But then, each victory will help you some other to win. So you have to be willing. You have to understand. First, it starts with knowledge. Most of these things start with knowledge, which is why we have the discussion on WhatsApp every evening, and that is the main session, not the YouTube session. This is not the main session. The main session is on WhatsApp, the discussion, because that is where we equip ourselves with knowledge. We have a discussion, we share, and then we get revelations and understand, have deeper insight to worship, and then we can worship more understandably. So please, if you're not part of the WhatsApp group, please, the link is down in the description box. Please join us in the WhatsApp group, and then you can be part of these discussions every day. Even when we miss the YouTube session, we never miss the discussion by God's grace. So please be part of it, and God will continue to bless you. But look, start to equip yourself with knowledge that will transform your worship life, and then you will be able to praise God no matter the situation, no matter what circumstance you are in. You will be able to praise God through it all. Tears and sorrows, I had questions for tomorrow. There's been time I didn't know right from wrong, but in every situation, God gave me blessed consolation that my trials have only come to make me strong. I've been to lots of places, and I've seen a lot of faces. There have been times I've been so all alone, but in those lonely hours, oh, those precious lonely hours, Jesus lets me know that I was his own. Oh, through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon his word. Oh, I thank God for the mountains, and I thank him for the valleys. I thank him for all he's brought me through. If I never had a problem, I wouldn't know that God could solve them. I never know what faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, depend upon His word. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. Have you learned to trust in God? Through it all, let's learn to depend upon His word. Let's learn to worship Him through it all. God bless you as you worship through it all. Join us tomorrow and ready to worship. Look at the world and all the trouble it's in. Come on, traded righteousness for the pleasures of sin. And now the things have gotten way out of hand. We're wondering how, and we're wondering where. Hate is filtered right into your home, taking the love that the family once owned. Mothers against their daughters, dads against sons. From the way that it looks, seems like evil as one. Anybody wanna pray with me? Anybody wanna pray with me? Anybody wanna pray with me? Let's chase all the troubles away. Anybody wanna pray with me? Anybody wanna pray with me? Anybody wanna pray with me? Chase all the problems away. Can understand just why you throw in the towel. Where there's no hope, life is not worth the while. Why do you choose to be without me? What else do you want when I'm all that you need? Searching high and searching low every day to find the peace of mind and someone who cares. Hey, don't you see when all you have to do is fall on your knees? Take a look at yourself when I'm all that you need. Anybody? When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. When my heart is pained too deeply for mirth and song, when the burdens press and the cares distress and the way grows weary and long. Oh yes, He cares, I know He cares. His heart is touched with my grief. When the days grow weary, the long nights dreary, I know my Savior cares. Are you weary? Are you heavy-hearted? Tell it to Jesus. Tell it to Jesus. How you grieving over joys departed? Tell it to Jesus alone. Tell it to Jesus. Tell it to Jesus. He's the friend that's found known. You have no other such a friend or brother. Tell it to Jesus alone. Tell it to Jesus. Tell it to Jesus. He's a friend that's well known. You have no other such a friend or brother. Tell it to Jesus. Some good friends along life's way. Some loved ones departed in heaven to stay, but thank God I didn't lose everything. I lost faith in people who say they cared, but in the midst of my crisis, they were never there. But in my disappointment, in my season of pain, one thing never wavered, one thing never changed. I never lost my hope. I never lost my joy. I never lost my faith. But most of all, I never lost my praise. Blessings slip away when I lost my focus and went astray. But thank God I didn't lose everything. I lost some possessions that were so dear, and I lost some battles while walking in fear. But in the midst of my struggles, in my season of pain, one thing never wavered, one thing never changed. I never lost my hope, and I never lost my joy. I never lost my faith, but most of all, I never lost my praise. Where there's no hope, life is no otherwise. Why do you choose to be without me? What else do you want when I'm all that you need? Searching high and searching low every day to find the peace of mind and someone who cares. Hey, don't you see when all you have to do is fall on your knees? Take a look at yourself. I'm all that you need.